Live from the Caterpillar Global Communications Center at Bradley University, this is BUTV News.
Good evening and welcome to BUTV News. I'm Sheridan Hertig.
And I'm Joey Wright. Let's take a look at the news. Last week, the Bradley campus saw 6 positive cases of COVID-19. 353 cases have been tallied throughout the semester. So far, since October 30th, 10 positive cases have been recorded. This will be the first week to exceed single-digit positive cases on campus since September 24th. On a state level, over 538 cases were reported by the Illinois Department of Public Health today. That's the second highest since the IDPH started recording this year. Halloween saw numbers nearing 8,000 cases. The number of deaths have also seen an uptick. On Monday, 68 were reported, the most since June 24th.
University President Stephen Standiford and other Bradley figures, including alumnus and former Secretary of Transportation Ray LaHood, released a video message for students at the beginning of the week. Standiford asked students to remain respectful of one another's viewpoints and political perspectives during the week of Election Day. The 40-minute-long video went on to include Student Body President Emma Hoytia, who touched the importance of participating in local elections as well. She stressed effective communication between different viewpoints.
And I want to make sure that we are forging better relationships through it and learning how to love each other through these conversations, because it's such a polarizing thing right now, the election is, and I think as young people that are going to be doing this much more, and it's just kind of ramp up through the years, I hope that we can practice now and get really, really good at it.
Yesterday, the university sent out an email to students detailing the plan for the upcoming spring semester. Students were asked to take a close look when registering for classes. Classes available for the spring now have graphics next to them to indicate if the class will be in person, online, or if it will not be eligible to take online. This remote learner request form on Webster will indicate whether or not the student plans to take courses in person. Students who plan on going fully remote will be able to remain in residence halls. Students will have until 5 p.m. on January 15th to complete that form. The university anticipates to have similar code restrictions in place for the spring. Up next, the weather is warm. In November, Hernan will give us that 5-day forecast.
And later, we'll sit down with one Bradley student about this year's election. Stick around and find out what it's about.
I am what hunger looks like in America. I am an 8-year-old girl who's not excited for the last day of school. Because this may be the last time I'll have lunch. Till September. I am a single father of 2 who works 3 part-time jobs. And that's still not enough to put food on the table. I am a 16-year-old boy who just got my first job to help feed my little sisters. I was created by artificial intelligence from faces of the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew they were hungry.
Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Welcome back to BUTV. Mother Nature has been giving us an excellent gift coming into November. It is feeling much like the beginning of October, the end of September. So taking a look at our radar now, we can see that currently in Peoria, it's going to be pretty cloudy for the rest of the night. We should expect those clouds to continue on into the morning with the sun peeking here and there every once in a while. But tomorrow is going to be relatively cloudy as we see by the radar. It's going to be a relatively nice night, so if you want to go get some ice cream, take a walk with a friend, it would be a perfect night to do that. I won't say that this is going to be the last good week of the year, because I've been saying that pretty recently, and I've been wrong. So just take it in as you can. Taking a look at our temperatures now, it's about 64, 65 here in Peoria. Very unseasonably warm for this time of the year. And we can see that is very much the trend all over across the Midwest. Up in Chicago and Northwest Indiana, we're seeing about 65, 67. Down in St. Louis, it is closer to the 70s. So again, very unseasonably warm, and we should normally be around the lower to mid 50s for this time of the year. And that's generally our highs. So we can imagine how abnormal it is for it to be this warm during this time of the year. That trend is going to continue for the rest of the week. So now taking a look at our 5-day forecast. Again, 73 and 73 for next 2 days. It's going to dip a little Saturday, and 75 to start the week on Sunday. We should expect some rain on Monday, but that'll be towards the night. So take in this nice weather while we can. Now it's time for your entertainment news with Mark Berger.
Thank you very much, Hernan. This week, we said goodbye to original James Bond actor Sean Connery, who passed away at the age of 90. Starring in 7 Bond films from 1962 to 1983, Connery played the legendary super spy with class and grace, a magnetic presence as he aimed to become one of the, quote, grand old men of the movies, according to the New York Times. Connery also appeared in Alfred Hitchcock's Marnie, Steven Spielberg's Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and many other films spanning an impressively long career. The official cause of death has not been confirmed, but the family has said he did suffer from dementia in his later years. COVID-19 has been brutalizing AMC theaters. Recent numbers show a 90.9% drop in sales during the most recent earnings period. With most major blockbusters being postponed until 2021, the movie theater industry may never recover from this pandemic. There's even skepticism that the last remaining blockbuster scheduled for this year, Wonder Woman 1984, will even come out with the recent spike of COVID cases in Europe and here in the US. Sony is reportedly entering formal negotiations with AT&T to purchase the US-based anime streaming service Crunchyroll. The projected number to pay $957 million to acquire the platform, which has 70 million free and 3 million paying subscribers. Sony would also gain access to over 1,000 anime titles that Crunchyroll has licensed to stream. Sony previously bought anime distributor Funimation in 2017 and could possibly merge the two in the future. The move is likely a response to Netflix's announcement to produce more anime on the platform. According to statistics reported by IGN, over 100 million global households watched at least one anime title on Netflix in 2020. Crunchyroll stands out among anime services for their simulcasts, delivering episodes the same time as Japan, and hopefully the Sony deal will keep the quality.
You watch any kind of anime?
I'm known to dabble every now and again, yeah.
Are you sub or subtitles or dub?
You know what? As long as I'm getting it, it doesn't really matter. I know that there's some people who like each one, but it's all the same to me.
That's fair. I'm pretty basic and just kind of stick with Pokemon.
You know what? That's cool. That's fair. All right. Up next, we'll talk to one Bradley student about how working on Election Day.
And later, Larry Larson sits down with some big names from Bradley basketball. We'll be right back.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes. You can do it here. But you probably won't. You're busy. Kids, work, show coming back in 48 seconds. So let's do this now. Hold up one finger if you're a man, women, 0. 3 more fingers if you're over 60, 2 over 50, 1 over 40. If you're not sure, keep in mind you're sitting on a couch right now, so 1 more finger if you're not very active. 1 finger if yes, 0 if no. 1 yes, 0 no. Next, find the body type that looks most like you and hold up that many fingers while I look around awkwardly. And that's it. If you're holding up 5 fingers or more, you probably have prediabetes. Sorry to be so blunt, but hey, you're busy. Just go to the site.
Part-time job, full-time hustle, all-time Shiro to all of us. You nurture, we listen. You teach, we thrive. You lift our spirits, but we've got to lay down the truth. It's time for you, our Shiro, to stretch for the stars. A free online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Start saving more for retirement so you can feel prepared and live your life to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org/Shiro.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars. Really tall. I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands? Yes. You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
This week, our producer Anthony Landau sits down with a Bradley student who has some behind-the-scenes experience at the polling stations here in Peoria.
With me today is Nate Logan, a marketing MIS double major and a senior here at Bradley, and he's also an election tech with the Peoria County Elections Commission. Nate, thanks for coming on today. We appreciate it.
No problem.
So what exactly is an election tech? Now, we're familiar with election judges and maybe some other roles in the electoral process, but what's an election tech do?
So techs have a few different names. We do call them by troubleshooters here in county as well. And what that entails is on election day, the county is broken up into, I would say, sectors. And it's my job to drive around and make sure that we're fixing the equipment that goes down, updating the supplies that doesn't get, we didn't have enough of, and also issuing any issues with voters. There could be issues with judges. I mean, to be honest, it's whatever comes my way. Every day as a tech on election day is always going to be it's a surprise. You never know what you're going to walk into.
How often would you say that mishaps or just kind of challenges come up in terms of these events and elections? Are they frequent?
To be honest, it's totally random. So we have a moving company that moves over our equipment prior to election day, and that helps us get our polls places up faster. And we actually had some issues regarding equipment going to the wrong places and like things like that. So there really is no way to predict what's going to go wrong. There always will be a few things that will break on election day, but it's more the prep work that is the more important portion.
In terms of early voting this year, there was a large turnout everywhere. Did that affect your job in a different way, or was there a little more pressure this year than usual other years?
So in the primary back in the spring, I was actually put in charge of the vote by mail program. This time around, that was not the case. We had a 600% increase in applications. And we ended up actually outsourcing some of our vote by mail ballots. So every one of your vote by mail ballots is actually hand stuffed. They aren't machine stuffed because they have to be verified by a judge. So in that case, in the primary we had 3,000, which was a lot for us, and we had 36,000 this general election. So we outsourced about 27,000 of that to a company in Arizona that will do it. A lot of that stuff got mailed out back in September. We've still been mailing out stuff since. Obviously now it's the other way around, where we come in and we have a steady and long process that makes sure everything's secure, make sure that the correct people are voting. for someone that has done this for the last few elections, I will definitely say there's a large process to vote by mail, but that's what makes it secure and safe.
Great, Nate. That's all the time we have for today. I'm glad we could speak.
No problem.
All right, great. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you so much, Anthony. In this week's Mindful Minute, Morgan Wells weighs in on the importance of good nutrition. Let's take a look.
What's up, folks? Welcome to another segment of Morgan's Mindful Minute, where today we're going to get into the topic of nutrition and balanced eating. Just a handful of savory takeaways in this video include seeking out new recipes and being conscientious of your processed food intake. Since we're spending longer periods of time in our own homes, we have the opportunity to try out some new recipes. And fortunately, lots of healthy and delicious recipes can be found instantly online. Take advantage of the available information. Explore and experiment with the ingredients you can access, such as fresh or dried herbs and spices for added flavor. You could visit your local grocery store to see what produce is in season, and winter is a great time for citrus. As you work to incorporate more minimally processed foods, make sure you're consuming enough fiber. Fiber contributes to a healthy digestive system and can offer a feeling of fullness. Aim to include fruits, vegetables, and whole grain foods in your meals. Well, there you go. I know that I just threw a lot of nutrition information at you, and nobody's diet is perfect 100% of the time. It's important, however, to be mindful of what we put into our bodies, because it does affect us both physically and mentally. Just remember, it's all a process. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay mindful. It's all about balance.
Thank you so much, Morgan. I'm going to have to start implementing some of those nutrition tactics. But up next, Larry Larson sits down with Bradley broadcaster Dave Snell.
And later we'll have a new musical guest here on BUTV. Stick around.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Awkward. Do I look familiar? I should. You might remember me from here. Here. Or maybe even here.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing. It can actually be a perfect moment to reach out to a friend and ask if they're okay if they seem down. It doesn't matter how you say it.
You all right?
Everything's okay?
All G?
You all right, girl?
You cool? You bugging dog.
Just show you're there for them. Go on, Kelly. Susie Awkward.
Hey, you haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
Welcome back. I'm Larry Larson. Let's take a look at this week in sports. On Monday afternoon, Bradley men's basketball became just the 29th team in the nation to announce its updated non-conference schedule. The team will play 9 conference games, 5 non-conference games, 5 at home, 2 on the road, and 2 on a neutral court. The Braves will commence the season on November 25th against Toledo at the Xavier Invitational. The next day, Bradley will play the host Musketeers to provide some Thanksgiving Day entertainment. Other highlights of the slate include a rematch of last year's loss to St. Joseph's on December 5th and an early Christmas present in the form of a Power 5 game on the road at Missouri on December 22nd. It remains to be seen whether or not Braves fans will be able to attend games, and Bradley has not yet announced where the men will play their home games. And for the first time ever, the NCAA mandated a day off on Election Day for student athletes across the country. The day off meant no practice or basketball activity for Bradley men's and women's teams in order to encourage civic engagement. According to men's head coach Brian Wardle, he has encouraged his team not only to participate, but to be informed.
Read the facts, read articles, know the policies that you're voting for, not just the person you're voting for. And I think we've had a really good speaker. They've all they got an app on their phone that's helping educate them. So I think it was a good process to go through.
Of course, that process wrapping up yesterday with Election Day. Now, few people know the Bradley men's basketball team better than broadcaster Dave Snell. Earlier today, I caught up with Dave to talk about his upcoming 43rd season in the booth.
We now welcome on the radio voice of the Bradley men's basketball team, Dave Snell. Dave, thanks for joining us. How have you been?
Larry, good to be in the office. I went with stir crazy at home.
It's always good to be back to normal. And Dave, let's jump right into it. Speaking of at home, you were staying busy over quarantine. I know we talked a little bit that you were writing a book. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I make some progress usually every summer. Because that's the freest time.
It's going to be a heck of a book.
Not, class going
Can't wait to read.
And being at home, I was going a little stir crazy, so I got a little bit more done on it, probably about 5 or 6 years this summer. And I'm up now to the end of Jim Molinari, in fact, his last season. And that was, and that led in, of course, Jim Less's hiring, which was quite an event to bring back a former star. And there was a lot of controversy about the fact that Jim had not been a coach before, but he did know the game, and he turned out being quite successful. So, and then I'll just take it from there, and then it won't be too long that I get up to the regular time. But I got a lot of pages. I'm going to need an editor, that's for sure. But it's been very enjoyable, and it helps me recall different times in my life by judging games, and I'm sure you do as well. You can remember things that happened when you were younger by a sporting event that happened, a key game. Exactly 2 days, I think it was 2 days ago, Joe D'Alfonso used to be the sports information director here. He and his wife were celebrating their wedding anniversary, and at the reception that night, they had the Mets and the Red Sox game on, and on that night, the ball went through Bill Buckner's legs with the Red Sox that Mookie Wilson wound up scoring. So that's how I remember things that happen in my life by things that happen in sporting events. And it's a great way to remember things. But I'll finish it one of these days. I'm not sure when, but it'll be maybe a year or two. But then it'll be a full work.
You certainly had a lot of good memories over the years. 42 years entering your 42nd season this year.
43rd.
43rd.
So coming up, yeah.
There you go. So your 43rd season is certainly going to look a little bit different than the rest, being 2020. What's going to look different about your job this year?
Well, basically, travel is probably the biggest, because I will not have any contact with the players or coaches during the season. I will do the pre and post game interviews by phone through the station. So Brian won't have to crawl up to where I am, and it'll be easier for him. And Chad and I are staying at different hotels, because the last thing in the world is that we want to take a chance on giving something a virus, if we would come down with it, to the team or the coaching staff and have to quarantine. So when I watch practice, I watch it either from upstairs or I watch it in the Braves Club room behind glass. And the disadvantage of that is I have not met the newcomers yet, and probably won't have a chance to meet them like I usually do with traveling on the bus or in the hotels. That's not going to be the case until there comes up a vaccine for this. So that'll be different. I'm sure that we will work in most arenas from upstairs rather on press row because they want to keep us away from the coaching staff. But that's up to every sports information director wherever we go.
You can watch the remainder of our interview with Dave on our website. That's it for sports. We'll be right back with Joey and Sheridan after this.
Yo, Scott.
Hey.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long.
You know, I think I'll just...
Dude, are you okay?
You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Smart man.
Did you see how that dog was looking at me?
Baby, you see, you're so right for me, and I'm right for you. I love the things you do, like sweet tasting wine. Your lips are so divine. Your loving turns me on. My lonely days are gone. That's why I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Babe, I'm never gonna let you go. No, no, never gonna let you go. Baby, never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Babe, I'm never gonna.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never gonna let you go.
You're home before sunrise. On top of the house, the kids, and our future. The smell of your cooking is our alarm clock. My Shiro's day is never done. So let's start saving a little more now so we can feel prepared for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need so we can live our lives to the fullest. Visit asiaretirement.org/Shiro.
Welcome back, everybody, and now let's take a look at what is happening on the Hilltop today. On November 5th and 6th at 4:30 p.m., Bradley Student Affairs and the Department of Women's and Gender Studies are holding post-election reflection circles. Students can join a faculty-facilitated space where they can share their thoughts, feelings, concerns, and hopes about the election. Facilitators will include Bradley faculty and alumni with experience in intergroup dialogue. You can find the Zoom link in Hilltop Happenings. On November 7th at 5 p.m., ACBU is holding a How-To with ACBU, where you join ACBU members for a guided crafting workshop. ACBU is going to run through 5 different crafts and activities. You can sign up on the Hilltop Happenings email, at their social media, or via the QR code on the How-To with ACBU posters that are around campus. The Smith Career Center is holding a diversity networking event on Wednesday, November 11th from 5 to 6 p.m. Employer partners will be holding breakout rooms where participants can network and engage with employers. This will be followed by a keynote speech by Joshua Gunn, the new head of the Peoria Chamber of Commerce. Students can sign up on the Bradley Network Career Search Service. Unfortunately, that is it for BUTV News this week. I'm Sheridan Hertig.
And I'm Joey Wright. We leave you tonight with a performance from Holden Kellogg. Have a great night.
I've been feeling kinda bad usually. My life's been going down the tubes recently. I've been trying to call her, you know she's been cruel to me. But that loneliness has a homegrown remedy. I reach for a can.